everybody? Dev Del Molino here, the synthesizer of opinions, and today I'm back, coming in hot with another review, a 65432 review, of course, on the latest Desiigner EP. 65432, 6 minutes, 5 things to know about the album, the artist, 4 favorite tracks, 3 adjectives to describe the album, 2 potential ratings to give the album. Do I think this album is hot, or do I think it's not hot? Now, Desiigner. Government name Sidney Selby III, also known as Navadius Wilburn II. Desiigner is from Brooklyn, New York, and is a Good Music signee, record label of one Kanye West. The similarities between Desiigner and his father, Future, have been very striking and have been a topic of discussion since he first gained relevancy with the mark of his smash hit single, Panda. Panda dropped in 2016. He was named a XXL freshman pretty much off of the back of the success of that song. Shortly after the nomination came the release of a debut mixtape titled New English. This thing did not help the Future comparisons, and overall the project is not very good. Alright, let's get into 4 favorite songs off the EP, which is actually just 3 favorite songs off the EP because there's 7 songs on the EP and there's only 3 songs that I really like off the EP. And I actually have something to say about a lot of the songs on this album, but not very much for every song, so I'm just going to tell you the 3 right now. LA to New York, Tonka, and Price Tag. So again, that was 3-1, but I'm just going to talk down the track list about each one of these songs of what I think, because I got a couple things to say. Now, starting at the top, Price Tag. This song, obviously one of my favorites. I really like the instrumental here. Very hard, very heavy, but still buoyant. So a solid beat from Ronnie J. Now granted, with this song, I don't really hear that Future influence all that much. What I do hear sounds a lot like Smokepurpp, and then at times there's this kind of fiery delivery that reminds me of Lil Pump. So I guess this is a step up because I'm not just hearing the same Future thing over and over and over again, but the crumb trail is still there. Tonka goes pretty hard. Still very heavy, again, straightforward. I enjoy the instrumental and I enjoy his cadence, his delivery over this instrumental. Maybe to me this is actually like the best song on the album because this is the one where I feel like I'm not hearing something ripped off of another person, though there are some very Cuddy-esque vocals that make their way in and out of the track. That one I can kind of give a pass to. After Party. Kind of boring. My one compliment to the track, and sort of a compliment to Desiigner in general. You know, he doesn't really take the easy route when it comes to writing a verse. You know, maybe he does in a sense lyrically, but again, compared to the people who you can sort of liken him to, he does a lot more rapping. Pop It, another very passive instrumental, as is the chorus. And you know what, on this album, I almost got tricked into thinking for a moment that maybe I wasn't really gonna hear that Future influence so much. Clearly their voices are very similar, and that's kind of a different thing. I don't think you can control that as much. But in terms of style and delivery and flow and aesthetic and attitude, I was a fool to think that I wouldn't find any Future influence maybe on this project, because it certainly shows up here and it does not stop. Destination, this is where it really gets bad. You know, sometimes I think like maybe I'm tripping, like maybe I'm looking too hard for the influences of other rappers, and particularly with the Future thing. But like, I'm not. I don't even like Future all the time when he's doing Future. So for another artist to just fall back and rely on Future's very lazy and distant singing and performance style is like so beyond me. And the question that I have with Desiigner as an artist is like, where is the New York in any of this? Like, I do not fuck with 6ix9ine at all. But at the very least I can say his shit is original, and there is an essence of New York, which is important to New York music. Those New York influences for 6ix9ine are clearly identifiable, and with Desiigner, there's just none of that. It's all Atlanta trap. Future, it's just Future. Anyways, LA to New York, I like this song. Instrumentally, decent beat, definitely more energetic and interesting than a lot of the material on the EP. And it's funny, because when I hear a Desiigner song that I like, you know, I just don't trust this fool. And I can't help it, I have to dig deeper, and I have to go, does this sound like Cardi? No, this sounds more like Rocky. Finally, last song on the EP, Hood. Again, this song has decent verses, but oh my god. Future does this thing at the end of a lot of his albums where he makes this really serious song. It's usually sad, usually talks about some real shit, dead homies, locked up homies, institutional racism or something. I just don't understand how the ripping off can be so blatant. And like, am I the only person that notices this? Is it not obvious? You are now witnessing a man maybe or maybe not going crazy listening to some Desiigner. Decent verses, certainly his own style to an extent, but oh my god, this hook. Future! Now, a quick 3 adjectives to describe the album with, this is gonna be sad, Future, Smokepurpp, and ASAP Rocky. And Lil Pump too. Alright, hot, not, clearly this is not a good album. One final thing about Desiigner here that I just cannot wrap my head around. Again, the fact that Desiigner's voice is very familiar to that of Future's is not the problem. But what confuses me are these flashes of his own unique style on this EP, on the first mixtape, and songs in between. When it comes to the more aggressive tracks, Desiigner can be so much more expressive than Future can. He has a lot more options when it comes to inflection of his voice, with his delivery, with his flow, because again, Future doesn't really rap the same way that Desiigner actually kind of spits, but he'll decide to scale things back, not change his inflection, sound exactly like Future. He'll sing, and he's not very good at that, so he definitely sounds like Future. It's just a mind-boggling thing to me to be so shamelessly influenced by another person's music, and just to deliver that music and act like no one could ever notice. Yeah, that's gonna be it for me. That's all I got to say about this project. What did you think? Did you like it? Did you not like it? 4 favorite songs, 3 adjectives. Which one of your favorite rappers does Desiigner sound like to you? Be sure to follow me on Instagram at 40ounces.of.dev. And that's going to be it for me. I have been Dev Del Molino. You have been so wonderful for watching, as always. And remember, art without favor is like a windmill without wind. Dev Del Molino, out.